Tonight on News 46, have you been the victim of fraud?
Law enforcement from all over the world will be running through Pahrump this weekend.
And what bills are being considered today by lawmakers? News 46 starts now.
News 46 is brought to you by Affiliated Chiropractic and Affiliated Physical Therapy. Come in for your free consultation. Call 775-727-8900. Our goal is to create the individual treatment plan that will restore your health and end pain. You're watching KPVM News 46 at 5 with Rick Vale and Rhonda Van Winkle. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Tuesday, April 12th, 2011. I'm Rhonda Van Winkle.
And I'm Janet Arrett for News 46. Topping our news this evening, have you been the victim of fraud? We speak to one victim who has some tips on the subject from her own experience.
There have been many reports of fraud lately. A lot of recent frauds stem from purchases made online at unsecure sites. Some are from skimmers attached to ATM machines. Some are from using your card at a merchant. We speak to one victim, Mary King, about her recent fraud activity.
Well, I went to start paying my bills. I try to pay them early on the month, every month. And I went to pay, and they said my card was rejected. And so I called the bank, and they said, that's because there's no money in it. And I said, what do you mean? I just got the money in. I just put the money in the day before. And anyway, so the bank put a stop. And I had to go down and fill out papers for bank fraud. And so when I went down there, they told me what happened. Somebody in Pennsylvania and Maine, they're probably walking around with a laptop and TV or who knows what because they got my money.
So it was used at a merchant, an actual brick and mortar building?
What I was told was they start low. Like mine was Dairy Queen. They spent $25, I guess, buying lunch or dinner at Dairy Queen to see if the card would work. And then they go to bigger stuff, and that's what they did.
Was this all done within one day, or how many days?
2 days, in 2 days. So they kind of were taking it. The first day they took it to Dairy Queen. The second day I think they went to Office Depot, and I can't remember where else, but there was 2-3 businesses where they used big, but they stay under $500. And the reason they stay under $500 is because nobody checks under $500.
So what did the bank tell you? Was it done as an online purchase? How did they get your card? Or was it skimmed? Or was it done at a store that you shopped at?
They're checking out where I last used it. I used it the day before on 3 different stores in our area. And so they are investigating those. And the thing of it is, all they need is your account number. They do not need your PIN. I was using credit rather than debit thinking I was safe. It doesn't matter. You can be using electronic check. All they need is your account number.
So if a person has your account number, what do they do at that point?
Well, I found out there's a business here in Pahrump that makes and sells, I don't know if they make them, but they sell scanners. They sell empty cards. So the people that get your account number stamp your account number on this card. And that's how they get through.
Is this a legal business or an illegal business here in Pahrump that's operating?
They say it's legal. They can't control what people buy them for. Now, to me, it's on the iffy side. But I know there's legitimate mom and pop businesses that use scanners for purchases, and that's okay. But when you're using scanners to place on a ATM machine or somebody else's business, that's illegal. But that's how they're getting a lot of your numbers at, by use. And by the way, every purchase that I made, I used inside the store, not outside ATM.
So what can you do to protect yourself? Well, we have some pointers for online purchasing.
What can you do in the case of online fraud? Shop online from well-known companies. Well-known names are likely to use the latest online security measures. Check company reputation with first-time purchases. If it's your first time shopping on a particular site, then check out the company before making purchases to be sure they have a good reputation. Check for contact details. Make sure the company you plan to buy from provides contact details other than just an email address or online form. If anything goes wrong, then you may need to contact them. Look for a postal address and landline phone number. Only use secure websites. Make sure your credit card details are being processed using a secure connection. The most common form of secure encryption is known as Secure Sockets Layer, or SSL for short. SSL encrypts data by breaking it up into small pieces so that the information cannot be read by anyone attempting to intercept it. You can also look for a padlock symbol in the lower right corner of your browser, symbolizing the page is secure. Never send your credit card details through non-secure online methods such as via email. An ever-growing number of online stores now require a CVV or card verification number when making a purchase. The CVV code is the small code located on the back of your card on the signature bar. Another security feature that credit card companies are using is to add an additional password. Use a credit card with online fraud protection. While credit card may never be wiped out completely, these simple steps should help you shop online safely and securely. Remember, if your bank is taking care of the fraudulent charges, it is still important to report this crime to the Nye County Sheriff's Office as well. Tomorrow, we speak with the Nye County Sheriff's Office detectives about this ever-growing problem.
Thank you, Deanna, for that story. Very, very pertinent right now. There's been a lot of victims of that fraud right here in Pahrump. Well, the Baker to Vegas Challenge will be held this weekend. Law enforcement from all over the world will be running the 120-mile, 20-stage course, which has been held since 1985, beginning with 19 teams originally. This race gives a big economic boost to Pahrump, and with all of the hotel rooms full and lots of supplies being purchased in our town, it really helps out. So today, 256 teams are signed up for the race. We spoke to Alice Eichner from the Pahrump Chamber of Commerce.
It's really called the Challenge to Baker and Vegas Relay because they do it every so many miles. And there's 20 stations from the time they leave Baker until they arrive at the Hilton Hotel. And they're going to have a baton this year that they pass. And since last year, we've had 18 officers from the 256 teams that are running that have lost their life. And one of them is our very own Ian. And the Chamber is sponsoring a special shirt for him and his family and all the runners to have this year with his badge and his number on it.
What are stations?
The stations are the handoff positions, and they're timed as they come in to each station. Some of those stations from 1 to 2 could be 5 miles. Some can be 6 miles. Going uphill, they're usually 4.6. Here in Pahrump, we're between station 10 and 11. 10 starts at Blag at the little restaurant and gas station out there, and it ends up in Dandelion. So there'll be more congestion at those two places with the motorhomes and everybody that supports the race. If you're going to go to Vegas in that time from 5:45 p.m. to, I'm going to say, 2 or 3 in the morning, that's when they're going to be through here. It'll be noon before they clear the way out of Las Vegas.
And what date is this?
This is the 16th, this Saturday.
There's people from all over the world. I know we even had teams from New Zealand here before.
We have them from Australia, Germany. We have 4 from Canada this year, 2 from the Royal Mounted Police, 2 from Calgary. We've had them from England. I think there's 5 out of the country teams.
And so they all do this for the purpose of what?
It's the largest involvement of law enforcement, and they celebrate different things for each team. So it's all kinds of anything that has to do with law enforcement.
I know the Nye County Sheriff's Office have been joining this. Are they joining this year?
Yes, this is the 3rd year that our team is running, and we're running in Ian's name. And it's quite an honor for us. And then we all go in for the celebration, and when they call Pahrump team number, they will give a little bio about Ian. And if you want to buy a shirt, the chamber will have them on Friday for $15, and then we'll have them at the chamber trailer for $15 all day on Saturday and Saturday night.
Do you remember when we were training for that race last year?
Yes.
And we had planned to be on it, but our team, it didn't end up working out. We'll just say that. But I'm kind of glad because that number 247 we were watching,
She looks sick.
she didn't look so happy. I'm not sure if I could do that.
Yeah.
But I won't be here for it this year. I'm going to be out of town, but maybe we can hook onto somebody's team next year, huh?
Maybe next year. I think we should start training now.
Yeah, it won't hurt us. It won't hurt us a bit, I guess. All right, well, coming up after the break, summarization of some new bills coming up in legislation.
And what's going on at Simpkins Park? This and more after the break. Keep it here.
News 46 is brought to you by Affiliated Chiropractic and Affiliated Physical Therapy. Come in for your free consultation. Call 775-727-8900. Our goal is to create the individual treatment plan that will restore your health and end pain.
Deanna O'Donnell gives us a summarization of some bills that are up for consideration in the Nevada legislature today.
Federal budget cuts are threatening to make it a very hot summer for thousands of Nevada seniors, people with disabilities, and poor or unemployed families. State lawmakers are considering a remedy. The number of Nevada families needing assistance to pay their power bills has jumped by more than 60% in the past 2 years. But about $14 million in federal energy assistance could be cut in July, just when the summer heat is reaching its peak. To fill the funding gap, the legislature is considering a fee increase. The bill would rescue that program by increasing a small fee, just a few cents per $100, that everyone pays on their utility bills. The measure AB 457 would generate an estimated $12 million annually. State lawmakers will consider a bill to impose a temporary moratorium on executions in Nevada. AB 501 would suspend executions until July 1st, 2013, but does not prohibit the imposition of new death sentences during that time. The Assembly Committee on Legislative Operations and Elections will hear testimony on the bill today. A bill that would prevent public employees, supervisors, and administrators from belonging to collective bargaining units will be up for debate by the Nevada legislature. SB 342 will be discussed today by the Senate Committee on Legislative Operations and Elections. Besides prohibiting administrators from belonging to bargaining units, the bill would also allow a local government employee to decide whether to have union dues deducted from their paycheck. The deduction of dues is currently negotiated during contract talks. Under current law, Nevadans can find out the total number of hospital-related infections for the state, but there's no handy way to determine the infection rate at a particular hospital. With a new bill being discussed, SB 339, Nevadans could find out a whole lot more about infection rates and other safety issues at local hospitals and nursing homes. In the past years, the healthcare industry has fought such transparency measures. This bill would require a hospital to have a dedicated infection prevention specialist and is also requiring the posting of information about different types of infections and the number of infections. I'm Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
And Simpkin Park's grand opening on Saturday morning was a little bit stifled with some snow that actually came down, but still a success. Town Board member Harley Calkin and others spoke to us about the anticipated day.
We are here at Simpkins Park where we had the grand opening on Saturday. We're going to speak to Harley Calkin, Dan Kelly, and Nick Moore.
Well, it was kind of short and sweet. The weather probably kept a lot of people away, but I guess they gave away over 200 hot dogs. I ate 2 of them. So that was pretty good. And well, I think the main thing about this for me is that there's a lot of talk all the time about things going to happen, but you know, the town carried this off. They had an idea to improve this park, and it's very beautiful and really a nice addition to this neighborhood, and here it is, and it's all done.
It's wonderful. We have so many representatives here. Tell me what's going on with that. We have DARE, we have the Masons.
Well, it's a public thing here, so I guess an opportunity to get involved and share some information with the people here in the neighborhood. So Yeah, it's real nice. And then, of course, this also could be used for local events, like we use Petrick Park for big things. But if someone has a smaller event or something, and maybe the park's full or whatever over there, we could use this facility here for them to have their little thing going on,
I'm with Nick Moore and Dan Kelly. We had the grand opening at Simpkins Park. What kind of process did we go through to get this going?
Well, it was a big process as far as Matt Lewis and the town of Pahrumph's been allocating funds over here and trying to get this place up to par for years now, and they finally put a team together and got it accomplished. So the town, we're excited to have this new updated facility here available for everybody for their use.
And we've got some good awnings here for the kids to be playing in the summer, and new equipment in the ball field.
The ball field is, somebody made a comment that a lefty can't hit a home run from here. But they're using a lot for soccer. Adult soccer is coming out here on every Sunday using it now. They get the barbecue, and if they want to use that, they need to get with the town to reserve it, because it's not a first come first serve. It's whoever reserves it gets it to use it.
We're looking for volunteers that want to volunteer their time for the Park and Recreation's advisory board. We're actually down a couple, so there's only a few people on the board right now, and it's not very glorious, but I mean it's very needed, and with field allocation and updating our facilities local, it's so needed. And if anyone's out there interested, just contact the town office and fill out an application.
All right. Well, it's a nice park.
Yeah, beautiful. Those awnings, that's the first one that I've seen in Pahrump
I
with
noticed
the awnings.
the shades that there aren't any other parks with shades out here. So
That's great. Well, how about that beautiful weather? Are we going to be able to hold on to it? Well, Rhonda Van Winkle will be letting us know next. Keep it here.
News 46 weather is brought to you by your local dairy farmers. Dairy products are very important in maintaining a healthy body. For more information, you can visit their website at nevadadairycouncil.org.
Okay, and your weather today is going to be covered by Janet and I, as Rick Vale is in Las Vegas for Nevada Broadcasters. And today we had a high of 77. It was beautiful outside. Winds from the south-southwest. Say that 3 times fast. That's 6 miles per hour with the pressure steady at 30.01. Sunrise at 6:15 a.m. and the record high actually 91 degrees in 1990. And Janet, how about tonight?
Tonight we have a low of 47 degrees, just cool enough to cool it off a little bit, make it comfortable to sleep in. Winds of the south-southwest at 7 miles per hour, sunset at 7:14 p.m. and the record was 32 degrees in 1967.
Boy, you got that down better than I do, that wind. Okay, and our 7-day forecast is actually the incorrect one that's up right now. That is yesterday. So let me tell you, the one that is showing now is wrong. So come on back to me, Chad, and I'll tell everybody what's going to happen. Wednesday through next Saturday, it is going to be sunny almost every day. Starting on Wednesday, it is going to be partly cloudy. Thursday, it's going to be completely sunny. Friday, Saturday, partly cloudy, and then Sunday will be sunny again.
And beautiful evening temperatures.
Yeah, like 80s. It's going to be in the 80s.
Wednesday night gets a little cold, 37 degrees.
And then
But
some of the
other
other
than
nights, 40s and 50s. So it's really not bad. It's going to be beautiful weather. It's not going to be super windy. As a matter of fact, it's going to be around 7 miles per hour or so. Some days gusting up to 17, 18 miles per hour. And so it's really not going to be bad this next week. So look forward to a beautiful week.
Yep, enjoy it while you can. Because this weather doesn't last long in Pahrump.
No, it doesn't. But I've been so happy with it today.
Yes.
All right, now some announcements. Free computer classes tomorrow at the Pahrump Community Library at 701 East Street from 1 to 2 p.m.
Now, the National Grange meeting tomorrow night will be held at the Pahrump Senior Center on Basin from 7 to 10 p.m.
All right, and that does it for this edition of News 46. I'm Rhonda Van Winkle.
And I'm Janet Arrett.
And from everyone here on the Hill at KPVM, we wish you a safe evening, and we'll see you here again tomorrow night. Until then, good night, Pahrump.
Good night.